First job, and what was it?
Okay. I started teaching in 1980 at Garner Senior High School, and it was called Industrial Cooperative Training. My students went to school half a day, and then they worked in the afternoon and got credit, and they were learning a trade. And this was 1980, and this was the first time in my adult life that someone would say, well, you know the kind of student I need. And I'd say, no. And then they would say, well, I don't want a black student, or, I want a white student. And that was very shocking to me because, that was 1980, and I knew that was illegal for them to say that. But that was pretty obvious in the workplace. For me, because I wasn't going to tell my students, okay, well, only white kids can apply for a job here. So
And
that was upsetting to me.
So that was when you were looking for jobs for them.
It's for students in 1980. And I know that's been a long time ago, but
Yes.
still, you thought things were better by then.
So how would you react to when they would ask you that?
Well, I would just say, I'll send you the best I have. And I would send both races, but I never had black students get a job there. I didn't stay at Garner High School very long. I went to a different high school, and it might have been the part of town we were in. I grew up here, so it's been very different.
So were you I'd say as a woman, because I don't know much of your background, so I don't really know your religion and all that stuff. So as a woman, were you ever discriminated against?
Yeah, I went to buy a car. I was married, but I went to buy a car, and it was with my income. And the car dealer said, "Oh, little lady, come back with your husband, and we'll talk to you." And I went to several car dealerships, and that was their response. And and I said, "Well, he's not paying for it. I am." And I've even had that. I've been divorced about 20 years, and I've had that happen. Where they'd say, "Hey, well, bring your husband back, and we'll talk to you." And it's like, I don't have a husband. But I feel like that was discrimination.
Oh yeah. So with payment, earlier you said off camera how women were paid differently than men. Could you go back to that for me, please?
Yes, but as Mr. Warren said, because we're state employees as teachers, our pay scale is the same. But it is true that women get paid like for every dollar a man makes, a woman makes either 70 or 80 cents per hour. There is a discrimination as far as the pay scale goes, not with state employees, though, and that's what we are.
And do you mind if I ask you about your religion?
No,
So what is your religion?
I'm a Methodist.
Have you ever, like in the workplace, have you ever been discriminated against for being a Methodist?
No, not at all.
What is a Methodist?
It's just,
Is it Christian?
yeah, Christian
Pretty much, yeah.
religion.
So
Baptist, Methodist, Presbyterian.
Seventh-day Adventist?
Yeah.
Oh.
I also am pretty liberal with my views on life. And anyway, and Mr. Warren was telling you about, I know you hadn't asked me this, but about that he knew of homosexuals
Oh
when he was in school.
Mhm.
I don't recall any. When I was in college, I started realizing that there were, men who liked men and women who liked women. But I had not ever been exposed to that I know of. Or maybe I was just oblivious to it. I don't know. But people would never admit that they were homosexual. I remember one young man I knew my age, I went to NC State. He actually had a nervous breakdown, and what it was all about was that he was gay, and he had so much trouble accepting that because his family turned against him and all of that. It was very sad. Things are a lot better for folks now that are homosexuals or transgender, for that matter.
So have you experienced much discrimination for any reason as in race, religion, gender, like not just towards you, but maybe within your place of work, like your employees or employees to customers or employer to employees?
No, I actually, because I've lived here all my life, and also being a white female, I don't really feel like I've been discriminated against. And also, even though you asked me about my religion, it's a pretty mainstream religion. And so I have not experienced